Like much of what we do in our business, it's a process. And so having a clearly defined hiring process for your business can help you streamline how much effort and energy you're taking into that. Oftentimes we see owners who are in a position of desperation because either their best guy just left or they had to fire a very toxic employee, and now they're like, oh crap, I got to find somebody, I got to get them in, and I don't necessarily have a backlog of applicants. And so I would advise you to have a clear process. And some of the main chunks of this process are defining who you're actually looking for in the beginning. That means you're looking at your virtue competencies, the values, and the technical competencies for this position, as well as defining what the pay looks like, the benefits, the time, the environment, all of these things you want to detail out in a good job description, because that becomes your script in how you market, how you put it out there. And kind of becomes your checklist as you go through these interviews. I would also say in your interview process, you want to start off with the least amount of effort and energy and start building up to how much time you're spending with each applicant, right? Your first interaction should be looking at their resumes. Do they meet the criteria? If they don't meet the criteria, why would you bring them in for a phone call or an interview, right? If they meet that criteria, let's give them a phone call. If they didn't pass the phone call, let's not move them into a one-on-one where I'm spending an hour of my time to interview them and look at their technical or maybe sales skills or whatever that looks like. And lastly, in order to step to the next level, I, as a manager and owner, should be respectful of my other employees' time and energy, because ultimately we want to do some kind of a team interview or a working interview where the applicant gets an expectation of what it's like to work there, and your employees also get to see if this person's going to be a good dynamic fit with the team and the culture. And so you're doing your due diligence to make sure, hey, I want to make sure I'm only bringing qualified people to my team for them to evaluate. And so what we're doing is we're basically just creating this criterion as we go up and up, and making sure we're only investing time in the people who meet that criteria, and streamlining it. And then it's a process. So anytime you have a position, you should be marketing pretty much all the time. But if you need a position, you can have a backlog of qualified applicants, as well as it's a streamlined process so you know which stage this applicant is at any time.